So today I'm going to share with you the new CDC guidelines about wearing masks. These are non-surgical, non-medical grade masks that will help protect you and those that you are around and encounter when you are running around doing essential tasks during this quarantine. Stay tuned for the details of what is coming down the pike through the CDC, what you can do about it, and where you can buy a mask. Stay tuned. Welcome back, friends. I'm Dr. Melissa Gallagher. I'm a naturopathic physician, and I have been hosting a weekly 9 a.m. live natural health news show addressing pandemic viral updates, providing you news and insights on things that are coming down the pike. And earlier this week, I talked about it's time for you to grab face masks, and I'll post that video that you can watch up there. And essentially, I shared with all of you, if you're curious about that show, I'll include that in the description box below. But most importantly, in that live show, I share some recent findings that the CDC was using as potentially looking at and reassessing their guidelines about everyday citizens like us wearing face masks. Essentially, what an MIT professor in her particular lab that analyzes the extent and scope, the distance a sneeze and a cough extends, it's beyond 6 feet. It's actually anywhere between 23 and 27 feet, which is pretty staggering when you think if you're trying to stay 6 feet away from people at the grocery store, or maybe you're running to the bank and you are 3 feet, 4 feet away from your teller, or maybe you're grabbing mail at your mailbox and your mail carrier has just delivered mail. There's two things you need to know. So first, you need to know that the viral droplets remain in the air for at least 3 hours. We know this through a series of clinical studies, and I'll link those down below. Secondly, through this MIT professor's research in her lab, the viral droplets through a cough or sneeze or any type of extensive exhalation due to potentially an asymptomatic patient or symptomatic viral patient, those aerosolized droplets, meaning airborne droplets, can actually travel the distance of 23 to 27 feet. And that is the reason the CDC today released their guidelines that they're encouraging all citizens to wear non-medical face masks. There are 4 important things to note about non-medical grade face masks, friends. The CDC is not encouraging you to run out and grab an N95 mask. And despite anybody's kind of indication that you can buy those are unavailable, and they should be reserved for the medical professionals, our frontliners. There are a lot of different types of masks that you can buy. Some are multi-layered, some are antimicrobial, antibacterial in their material makeup. Some are wicking, and then others actually allow you to insert a filter. I actually prefer those, and I'm also including links down below for Etsy stores that will manufacture for infants and young babies, as well as young toddlers and children. So you want to make sure that you have all parties in your family wearing face masks, especially when you are out of the house. If you have to run to the store, maybe you have to go to a doctor's appointment, maybe you are an essential worker and you are in a work setting or working with customer service or in any type of setting that has you around other people, you need to be wearing a face mask. And there's really several reasons for that. First, it protects others. So it's an additional layer of protection to lower the curve. A lot of individuals we're finding are asymptomatic. They have this virus, they are not showcasing any symptoms, and in fact, their mobility and being out and about and them feeling fine actually gives them a false sense that they're safe. And in fact, they're infecting a lot of people, and some of them are what we would call super spreaders. So it's a layer of protection. Second of all, it encourages you to stay away from touching your nose or your mouth, which is a major transmission point. So when you have a mask on, you are consciously aware that you can't touch your nose or your mouth, and a lot of times you don't even realize how frequently you're touching your nose and your mouth. I actually encourage you to include eyewear that covers the side of the eye and definitely does minimize any droplets getting into your eyes as well, because that's another transmission point. The third aspect here is it provides social awareness. We need to come together as a community. This virus is not going to take us down. And most importantly, it requires all of us to come together and work together to support and encourage each other's safety. So while you might think that this is some minor flu bug, it isn't. And it doesn't even matter if you think you're a healthy individual. A lot of individuals have been deemed healthy or thought they were healthy. And in fact, they had underlying health conditions. And I actually shared with my community this week on our live show that the most impacted individuals who thought they were healthy were individuals from the age of 20 to 44. In fact, they had the most unknown underlying health conditions, which actually caused them to be hospitalized, and many of them were put on ventilation. And unfortunately, for a certain percentage, this was fatal. And they thought they were perfectly fine walking around completely invincible. So I shared with you when I introduced this video, this is an old mask that I had when I was painting my son's toy room. And I've also highlighted in basically every day since that video this week, face masks that you can buy on Etsy. You can make your own. I'm going to include a whole bunch of links down below where you can buy them, because this is going to be the challenge right now, is everybody is going to go running to buy material, and essentially the elastics are gone. This is going to put us in a situation like the toilet paper situation. So I want to encourage all of you to support local businesses. I'm going to include a ton of Etsy stores that are producing masks that are available. Some of them, it might take 10 to 12, 14 days, but I'm going to encourage you to support our local vendors, folks like you and I that are staying at home and trying to do good in this world to help each other be safe and well. When I first started covering this virus in my live shows, I encouraged people to wear scarves, thick scarves, and bandanas. Those are still considered viable face masks. But consider either having a few that you can wash and wear, and even consider adding filters, 5-layer carbon filters. That fortifies your mask a lot more. And I have several that I've ordered. They haven't arrived, so this is what I'm using for the time being. But as soon as those arrive, I'll share with you either on Instagram or community tab posts. Friends, none of us are invincible. This virus is intense. And it does not discriminate between ages, genders, socioeconomic backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds. It doesn't even matter geography. We are all susceptible, and wearing masks will protect you and I and everyone around us. It's our duty, it's our responsibility. So I'm excited to share that little tidbit that I've been predicting since the beginning of the week. I'm very excited to hear that the CDC is taking measures to keep us healthy and safe. And it now is in our hands, friends. So I'm going to encourage you to grab a mask. Check out the links down below where you can support a small local business via Etsy. And if you feel so inspired and you have a sewing machine or have any type of creative inkling and you want to make your own, go for it. I'm going to include some links to some YouTube videos and folks I know who are sharing their thoughts on how to make masks at home. So if you are new to my channel and you want to stay ahead of the curve with information like my encouragement for you all to wear face masks several days ago, I'm going to encourage you to subscribe to my channel, join our community here, and I hope I will see you on one of my 9 a.m. live shows. So I hope you'll tune in then, and please do subscribe, hit the like button, and share.